Was Geechee? Welcome back, brothers. As the title states, I'm gonna be giving my testimony of the Juice World Domination Tour stop here in Seattle, Washington. I attended last night. So I think in the lineup there was YBN, what's his name? Cordone or something. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. One of you brothers can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, Lil Mosey, who's a Seattle native, and then there was the headliner Juice World. Obviously, it's his tour. It's his debut tour. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of going in sequence with how the night progressed. You know what I'm saying? I live in Tacoma, so I had to obviously travel up to Seattle with the homies. It was a pretty cool venue. It was actually my very first live performance. I've never seen a so-called celebrity in person for a live performance. I'm 27 years old, and this was, like I said, my very first concert. Now, YBN Cordone, he was the opener. I'm not really sure of his status in terms of influences and influencers. You know what I mean? He kind of just popped up out of nowhere. Shit, he said on stage that two months ago he was still in college and he just had to drop out or whatever. Nonetheless, I think he only has like 3 songs out, so he actually performed I think 2 or 3 unreleased songs, which is pretty cool. And he held down the stage himself. He had absolutely no hype man. You know, he definitely carried the crowd for being a opener in terms of performance. Now, when Lil Mosey came out, Cuz had way too many hype men. You know what I'm saying? There was at least 2 motherfuckers dancing at all times, and then 2 motherfuckers with mics. And these brothers were screaming louder and speaking into the mic a lot louder than Mosey was. So I couldn't even gauge Mosey's performance. His stage presence was cool. He had some energy. He's a young cat. I see him, keeping that like that cool edge type shit. But I don't really listen to his music. I didn't know too much. He got that pretty dope song. They just dropped a video with Cole Bennett, I think. Nonetheless, Mosey's performance was just overshined by his hype man, in my opinion. Um, then there's Juice World. Now I had my own suspicions in terms of Juice World's influences and how he like gained such a clout status, if you will, so quickly. And I had briefly seen one time the numerology 999. Now, that's clear. You flip it up, it's 666. A lot of people don't want to buy into that and things of that nature. And I'm not here to tell you it's real, tell you it's fake. Where I stand is there's definitely a lot of satanic worship, Luciferian worship going on in the music industry. Uh, if you caught another one of my live streams recently, down below, type on my channel. I don't know how you find it. Um, I went in on the so-called Caucasian Jews and how we all know that they run the music industry and how they're actually of the synagogue of Satan. And you brothers can look it up. You can do your research, tap into my video, whatever the case may be. I think it was one of the little series I did recently. I think it's What is Black Culture? It might have been the very first one, actually. Nonetheless, see, I noticed the numerology 999 is here in his like avatar or username on Twitter, and it didn't become prominent to me until I seen the merchandise available for purchase at the concert, and one of the homies bought one. Yeah, it's on him. But it was actually this T-shirt right here with the and on the back it has 999. I mean, come on, the shit pops up like that. Like it, you can only deny it for so long, in my opinion. You feel me? It's like this is clear satanic worship. This is clear paying homage to evil deities, demonic beings, if you will. Um, and in my opinion, it definitely accredits for how he's attained his fame. You know, I honestly don't believe you get the clout status that people look to get in the music industry if you don't, you know what I mean, sell out to some degree. Um, seriously. Nonetheless, though, I'm not gonna like emphasize on this 999 shit. There was also another aspect of that night. It was after the concert. I'm gonna come back to the concert though. But the homie's friend, he had like, since he knew it was my first concert, he thought maybe, I will want to see more and things of that nature. So he recommended this app here. It's called Bands in Town. And look at this damn symbol for the app. You feel me? It's the devil horns. Like I thought that was pretty ironic. Nonetheless, I seen many young individuals throwing up the devil horns with their hands, you know, or whatever. I don't know how people perceive it, but I would presume it's too juice because they have their hands up and this and that. Um, Now, one thing that like it didn't bother me, but I thought it was kind of weird that the DJs and at times the crowd and the hype man would just like truly try to assert full on control of the crowd. I mean, when Juice came on stage and things like that, he was requesting the crowd to put their X's up, in homage of XXX Tentacion's death. I guess I don't know, but like I don't know the specifics of the X occult symbolism and what it means to the occult. I just know it has huge reference and huge power, which is why we see it so prevalently. And you guys should be able to see this. This is like, Skull and Bones, if you know anything about them and their influence in politics and presidency. You got some more shit here with Chris Brown. We can easily say he's with the shits. More um, I guess you could say that's an X on her face here. Miley Cyrus, we already know that bitch wicked. Uh, with Big Sean, Big Facts, and you got the one eye symbolism going with the X. Um, Ed Sheeran, I'm sure he's with the shits. Same thing here in this Weekend video. Definitely, Weekend is with the shits. You know what I mean? It's like Tupac, same difference. All like, or no difference really. This, you know what I'm saying? The X is something prominent. It's also featured here, you know what I'm saying? With the Masonic symbol or compass and square. But yeah, he just kept requesting. It was at least 3, 4 times, at least, where he requested the crowd to just go ahead and put their X's up, and I just thought that was really odd. Um, but nonetheless, besides how odd I found that, the request being, what I found even more odd was how willing and obedient that the young children were. Like, there was a few things that I peeped game prior to any performances. One, like I chilled out in the bar. You know what I'm saying? So I was not on the floor with the rest of the crowd, if you will. Was not finna stir in that. It's just too many young individuals with no respect, if you will, or just no, I don't know, no direction. You know what I'm saying? These kids, like, they cash out all this money to go to concerts every weekend and this and that, between parking, transportation, all that. It's crazy how much money these young individuals spend to see these celebrities, so-called celebrities. I just It baffles my mind. Like I said, I'm 27, and that was my very first performance that I've ever seen. Now, there was a couple things that I saw that just like were straight off the bat red flags, and there's serious low self-esteem issues going on in society, and there's serious identity issues, if you will. Now, I've seen two older women, and I project their ages to have been older than me. Like I said, I'm 27, so they could have easily been right there, borderline in 30s or well into their 30s. Now, when they open the doors, I mean, it's natural to see these 14, 15-year-old, these kids just essentially kind of just coming in, running in from the door. You know what I mean? Granted, there's not a mosh of, or a mob of people running into this venue. They're letting them in. They're going through security. They have to, they have to do all these procedures to get through the doors, even have their tickets validated, all that. You know what I mean? Yet they're fucking running in to go hold down the stage. You feel me? In my opinion, make sure the damn stage don't move. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They deify these celebrities and these artists, which is an issue. However, you got you got these kids running up to the stage, and then I noticed these older women that went ahead and joined these young children. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not sitting here talking to these kids, but they found them a little spot on the far left of the stage just to hold down, to be in the very, very front. And I'm just thinking, like, where are these women at in their life? Like, what maturity issues are they lacking, and connect with people of their own age range, that they are at I don't even know how old Juice World is, but he looks young to me. But they're at a young nigga's concert. You know what I'm saying? Like, this music, I get it's for the younger generation. I listen to it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just pure entertainment. I don't listen to it and be influenced by it, and have it affect my emotions and things like that. Like, people got all emotional about the Legend song that Juice World dropped for XXX's passing and thing. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, how emotionally attached are you to another man, to another individual, you feel me, to where that you don't even know personally, that you're going to go ahead and your emotions are susceptible to changings and things like that, when again, that person truly did not have a real physical effect. You know what I'm saying? They can have a metaphysical, if you want, effect on you with their music and helping and things of that nature. But in my opinion, when people say that music helps them do things and things of that nature, it's just like they weren't adequately taught how to handle certain situations and scenarios. You know what I'm saying? So they have these avenues and these outsource ways to channel whatever it is that they're going through, and that's not necessarily the healthiest. Don't get me wrong, I found to it, but it was way before I got into enriching myself and striving to progress constantly. Nonetheless, though, I just don't see how people let another man, another person affect them so much, especially when they've never met the person. You know what I mean? It's like you're giving somebody way too much influence in your life. Big facts. Um, I think, in all honesty, for a long time, we should truly only be looking up to our parents. Granted, a lot of parents are not adequately fit to do such. All parents have their flaws. No parents are perfect. I'm a parent myself. I'm not perfect, but I strive for perfection. I strive for constant improvement. Nonetheless, so you have, like, the demographic in terms of age was a wide variety. It was a lot of young kids peered, like, off the rip. And another thing is just like, I was just kind of watching, you know what I mean? I find myself to be a people watcher. I like to observe the habits, behaviors of other people to see how they handle situations, what they do, when they think nobody's watching. Because that's how I consistently think, you know what I'm saying? I conduct myself a very similar way in public settings as I do in private settings. I don't necessarily change how I conduct myself. If I'm comfortable, if I'm feeling something, I'll dance. I'll do what I please, what comes natural. I don't necessarily think what people are thinking of me. I don't care what anybody thinks of me or how they perceive me. Now, um, what I noticed a lot though is, specifically with women, is their attire. It's very, very skanky, if you will, very overexposed, very revealing. And these are young girls, and I'm a father of two young girls, very young girls. Not, my girls are a few years out from puberty and things of that nature, but these are young women that have already been thrown into puberty and things of that nature, and a lot of changes within themselves, and the clothes that they wear are just overall objectifying, and the reason why they wear them is purely to get attention. Now, when they get that attention that they want, then it's like, oh, get it, you know what I mean? Get off of me. You don't respect women. I feel like that's partly because of these feminist ideologies, and that the woman is on the same level as a man, and equality, all this gender equality bullshit, when we know in all factuality genders are not like, there's big differences between the male and the female gender. Facts. Males don't have a womb to cultivate a child, and a woman does not have the seed to fertilize their egg. You know what I'm saying? And in all reality, all children are the seeds of their father. You know what I'm saying? Yet mothers are coveted in this society, and they're put on this pedestal, and that falls back into, again, some of these satanic and Luciferian worship practices, and paying homage to the mother goddess, and deifying the women. Uh, and I don't know how to like over explain that, or get real detailed with it. I still have lots of research to do on that myself, but I see it. It's very prominent. I've fallen suit to it in terms of praising the women so high, when that's not the natural order of things. It goes the most high, man, woman, children. You don't have to agree. That is how it is, though. And if you don't have that order, there's chaos to be had, because women are agents of chaos. A lot of people aren't going to like that, but that is what it is. It is the facts of the matter here. Women love their drama. They watch their reality TV shows. You know what I'm saying? They get all immersed in these damn near soap opera, dramatic ass TV shows. You know what I'm saying? And they get emotionally invested. Women are emotional creatures. They don't have the base, like, thinking process to handle situations logically and rationally. They are emotion based creatures. And again, with this feminist bullshit, and trying to say that women are on the same level as men and can do everything that a man can do. That's not how it is, and that's what a lot of these young women have, these older women too, because this has been going on since the 70s. They feel that they can compete. You know what I mean? They want to compete with the man, opposed to being his complement, and that is the woman's place. The woman is supposed to complement the man, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But instead, it's always a competition, and most women truly don't respect men, period, because men are viewed as authority figures, and they don't like authority, because they've been told by the feminist movement that you're be an empowered, independent woman, this and that, you know what I mean? But if you go back to how the old-fashioned days were, and you could say times have changed, this and that, but yeah, they have changed, and look where the fuck we're at. Look how negative society is. Look how bad things are because of times changing. Now, you go back to the old-fashioned days, if you will, and the whole thing of per se arranged marriages or the trading of like livestock, land, things of that nature for marriage and a wife was because think about it. The woman is a even more frail creature than the male. Again, they're emotionally based, so they can't handle certain situations accordingly. And that's, there's exceptions, yes. I'm not speaking about every single woman. And for the most part, I'm not speaking to women either. I'm speaking to the so-called black male here. Now, um, in nature, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say, no. Allegorically speaking, look at like in the time movies. You know what I mean? What happens all the damn time in those movies? Women, there's exceptions with like your Resident Evil, but in those movies, the woman needs the man. They always need the man. They're not going to be able to survive without the man because the man is, stronger. The man is more logic based in his thinking, and the man has an innate ability to handle certain survival situations. The woman is not going to survive without the man. And in the old-fashioned times, that was the whole premise of the woman staying or the daughter staying with her father until she's ready to be married. And women were virgins on the night of their wedding. You know what I'm saying? That's another story for another day. I'll get into the whole aspect of sex abstinence, things of that nature. But they were under their father's protection first and foremost, and now that they're getting married, they are under that husband's protection. They are under their husband's protection. That's how it has always been. But this feminist movement shit got all these women thinking they're independent. Not to mention they've also forced it in terms of cost of living for both parental figures or household figures, male and female alike, to require them to work. And we can see that that's pretty much irrefutable. Now, again, the whole the premise of that was just that the women are dressing skanky or sluttier, and it's not just these young women; it's the older women too, because they have immature mindsets. You know what I'm saying? Um, my brother Chronicles of Judah, his channel will be linked in the cards of this video. He's kicked it like this. He says that I haven't fact checked it, but it seems pretty logical and plausible. The woman does not fully mature until she gets about, I'd say, 50, 60. Um, and if you look at things today, how many like single mothers or just single women do we have in that like 40 and 50 demographic and things like that? I mean, 30 and 40s easily. And then you got all the younger women's, the 20s the older teens are just like all looking for love and all this extra shit. You know what I'm saying? And they objectify themselves to get the attention that they want, but then they don't respect men so that they can't keep, or they don't respect men, which leads to an unhealthy relationship because they want to battle. They want to tell the man they don't want to be put in their place, but they don't understand that they still have maturity issues. Because in this society, we're taught that women mature faster than males, and that's actually not the case. I want to say they reach puberty first, but puberty doesn't necessarily coincide with maturity. And that's where we got to distinguish, discern, and realize. Now, brothers, when you know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with these women, you really got to be conscientious of what you're getting into and how soon you get into it and on what levels. You want to understand where these women are at in their lives, all that. You know what I mean? Most brothers are truly out here just looking for either like, you know what I'm saying, some ass, some titties, and a good fuck, or a pretty ass face type deal. You know what I'm saying? And most women are truly just looking for a relationship so that they can start competing with the next woman and posting on social media. You know, that's clearly what's going on. You can't deny it. And again, I'm not here to mislead you. I'm not here to tell you shit that's incorrect and not rooted in real research and real fact. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the case for everybody in every scenario. You know what I'm saying, brothers? But it's right here is I'm generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even speaking on a specific or nationality of people, if you will. I'm just speaking in general because the concert was general. You feel me? But again, there was a lot of women objectifying themselves to a degree they don't even respect themselves. You know what I mean? They have low self-esteem because they're not self-validated. They need that validation from all the men that look at them, you know what I'm saying, and try and approach them. They want that, yet they don't want to entertain it. They're all, ooh, get off of me. Why why you trying to grind up on me or whatever? That's not me. I'm not one of those individuals. I'm not out here seeking women like that. I'm seeking knowledge. I'm seeking the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeking the truth. I'm beyond that. Like, I have children. You know what I'm saying? I've had my fair share of sex. I'm like, you know what I mean, brothers? We really got to get up off that. Stop thinking with the wrong heads here. Um, However, there was a lot of, again, demanding too by the DJs with demanding to throw X's up, and there was a point where the DJ was like, put your lights up, on your phones. How they do. Put your lights up, or Juice World ain't coming out. Like, I think that was Mosey too. No, that was Mosey. It was just like, how do you justify that? And I get, controlling the crowd, but not literal control. You know what I mean? Literal obedience. Like, how I perceive controlling the crowd is the crowd is moving with you. You have so much energy that you've perpetuated that energy to your fans, to your crowd and things like that. But to sit here and like demand people to throw their X up, put your hands in this air, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? And while people are throwing their hands in the air, you got certain individuals throwing up devil horns, paying homage to these motherfuckers gods, or if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you brothers can do your own research on, occult symbolism, occult connections, um, and ultimately come to your own understanding of how they work, how they want you to put this blind obedience and blind faith in these false deities without you even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't even know what they're doing when they're throwing up these devil horns with their hands and throwing up the X. They're just listening because they idolize these celebrities. You know what I'm saying? At no point should we be idolizing another man. Should we be idolizing anybody? You know what I'm saying? Other than the Most High. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? Because Juice World didn't put your ass here. Juice World didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't make you who you are. He didn't help you become who you are. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you should be honoring your mother and your father uh, before you go, you know what I'm saying, and give all this energy and love, if you will, to a damn celebrity, an artist. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all making these niggas rich. You know what I mean? And then you go to see them and shit, and you watch them on your social medias, and you want to live that kind of life and all this other shit. But like, you know what I mean? What are you doing in your own life as a young individual to go ahead and progress? You heard? There's no logic there. You know what I'm saying? It's just blind leading the blind. Big facts. It, I'm off that. I don't get it. I'm not sure I will be attending any real like concerts for the most part. I'm definitely going to be looking into some of the older individuals that may or may not have lesser occult connections and things like that, or affiliations, if you will. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one.